Good morning. I realized that I've only got 2 weekends before birds arrive, so I gotta run experiments in parallel. So this is going to be the dirt compost, the concept of the like a terrarium. That's what this is going to be. That's just the bark over there. So we'll see what works best, and this is pretty self-contained, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, just to be clear. This is expanded clay balls. It's supposed to be good for water absorption and for drainage. Super lightweight. It's supposed to be all natural, but it almost looks like it's made out of it almost looks like it's made out of the fire clay that they line kilns with. It doesn't taste like anything. Anyway, so I put it in these little bags so that when I change my mind, I can undo it. Kind of like they do with aquariums, actually. I stole that idea from aquariums. Okay, this is charcoal. Also supposed to be good for something. I can't remember what. Absorption or something. Okay. Next up, dirt. This is just pre-mixed sphagnum, bark, tree fern, charcoal, and peat moss. And I got pre-mixed because I figure these people know what they're doing and I don't. All right, here goes, guys. I think I mentioned before that I have springtails and isopods living in here anyway, so they'll just move in if this is a favorable environment. And then I figure this can be also where the fruit flies can live. Oddly reminiscent of when I embedded these things down into the deck. I'm just doing the kind of cheesy solution. Hey, that looks great. That looks like something you guys are going to really like. How come there's a pile of nesting material down here? Where are you getting it from and who is building? Okay. You guys want to check it out? Good morning. Trying to figure out the the last little corner. So you can see I've taken out most of the gravel. There's some in here that I may leave. I just decided it's too hard to clean. I was doing a whole nother cleaning, and I tried to separate just the bigger gravel so there wasn't the little tiny sort of, 2mm size kind of thing. And it's just catching everything. If anything, if I put anything in here, it probably will be some of that barky stuff, because I have a lot left over. "17 more days. Who's counting? Me. I'm the one who's counting. It's Saturday. There's going to be a lot of pinging happening because I'm talking with a new person who's just thinking about building an aviary. Isn't that cool? So I may have to run and answer questions, right? And by the way, if you're going to ask me questions, you're going to get a lot of information. No TikTok-y, 20-second thing from me. Just so you know. Because some things require more discussion. Right, you guys? Like you guys. Okay. I'll let that dry for a sec. And then that goes back. And so then what happens? So this was just to fill in gaps again. This guy goes back. The one upstairs, I had to finish an edge that was unfinished, so that's going to come down. Then I have one more rock to bring down and get that situated, and then maybe a little more. I have some other rocks up in the bird room, and then figure out what, with this remaining space, what, if anything, am I going to put down there. And am I going to do anything about that gravel? And then I'm done. So, and then it's time to clean again. What's the date today? 16 more days. It feels... We are having a very windy day today. It's always a nerve-wracking. What was I talking about? Oh, 16 days. It feels like yesterday it was 17 days until the birds came out of quarantine, and it felt like 30 days. And today is 16 days, and it feels like 40 days. Okay, that's good. That's good, you guys. All right, next. Hey, where are all these burlaps coming from? So one of the people, excuse me, and this was up next to my table saw, and I just blew off all the sawdust. This is my biggest rock now, since I cut the other one in half, to make them easier to get in and out of the door. And one of the viewers suggested, you need some bigger rocks. And I thought, that's a good idea. But this stuff is heavy. You notice I crawl around on it, I put ladders on it and stuff, but it has to be fairly thick to be able to accommodate that without cracking. And it's, you know, it's not light stuff. It's not cement. It's not rock, mind you, but it's still relatively heavy. So this is the biggest one, and I got to decide where to put it. So let's try it here. So it does have a flat side, which is against the wall. So nobody can get lost. And that's what it would look like if it went there. So that would have to be blocked with the substrate, which it could be. So you know, one thing that's great about that is it makes a little pocket back there for some bark. That's pretty cool. I like that. That was a really good suggestion. And then what I might do, another viewer suggested using sand. And I've been trying to find a place to use sand. One is I was thinking of under the water. Like aquarium sand maybe. And I even got an aquarium sand that's designed to change the pH of the water, which could help with algae buildup, you know. So I think I'm going to do that, but I'm holding off on that a little bit. The dilemma with sand is that it would wash away the way I clean. It would wash away into the drain, and then it plugs the drain, which is fine because I can get at it from the outside and clean it out. It's not a big deal, but the sand would just go away when I spray the hose. Okay, I like it. I think that's done. That means my other one goes somewhere else. And I'm thinking maybe it should go over on the platform to make a little hidey area next to the food. That's to be determined, but I think that was a good call. He used to be here. He used to be down there before this guy moved. Slowly but surely I'm putting it back to the original configuration. Oh yeah, and I gotta figure out a place for that. Okay, we're getting there. It's fun. It's fun to try to visualize how the birds are going to use the space and what would make them happy. I think sometimes people misunderstand how much time finches spend on the ground, and not to be too preachy about it, but most of the finches that I keep and that people keep eat grass seeds. Grass seeds grow here and then fall there. They're not up in the trees. Okay. So that's why I fixate a lot on the ground in the aviary. Mind you, I do put some effort into perching as well. Okay, let's call that good for the moment. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Alright, so we've got this guy. Figure out. And the other guy to figure out. And then I can start putting in substrate. That's what we've got so far. I got smart and molded in a little handle on this guy. That might make a nice sneaky way to get to the compost and the water. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Maybe I'll try that. Okay. One thing I was going to show people, that if you haven't seen, my little planters, I don't know if you can see my hand under here? There's like a whole world under there for the finches to kind of crawl around and whatever, do their own thing, quite privately. That's why I say it's entirely possible that I will never see some of the birds that I release into the aviary once I do it. God, those pintails are so dumb. I'm sorry for people who love pintails, but they are so dumb. That's not quite everything. I have one more thing. But that's all for this corner. I'm going to be moving. Nobody freak out. There they go. That's it. Okay, so these are those little clay drainage walls. You know, reptile keepers, they've got stuff dialed in. I'm pretty impressed with them. I copy a lot of their ideas, or try to adapt them to birds, because birds are reptiles, right? So this is the stuff that I put in the bottom of the composty bin. And I'm going to use it I am going to put bark down here, and I'm going to put this underneath it over the drain in the hopes that it creates this environment where the little isopods and stuff can live, just like the gravel and worms, apparently, and the springtails and whatnot, without it trapping, whatever. I don't know. I'm just going to try something because, why not? All right. So this stuff first. I don't know. We'll see. I think I mentioned previously the reason I have it in the little bags is so that when I change my mind, it's easier to retrieve. All right, I'm not gonna run off the I'm not gonna run off the camera just filming that. It's gonna take me a while. I'll get back with you in a minute.